This presentation will deal with the problems associated with hydrofracking for natural gas. The Marcellus Shale Reserve is a massive underground rock formation that has a lot of natural gas in it, but getting it out causes some real problems with the humans that live in the area of this underground reserve. Hydrofracking, or what's called hydraulic fracturing of rock that produces gas, has many benefits but many detriments to the environment, especially to the people who live in the area where the fracking occurs. Here's a simplified example of how a hydrofracking well works. Hydrofracking has employed thousands of workers and lowered the price of natural gas, but at what cost? Companies don't have to test for the toxic chemicals that they produce in wastewater from the process. The processes of hydrofraction have pitted the state against the people who live in the areas where the hydrofracking is going on, and the companies that are involved, along with the federal government. The bullet points in this slide show the interaction of science, economic, and ethics in the problems associated with hydraulic fracturing of rock to produce natural gas. Environmental advocates have worked together with state and local politicians to prevent hydrofracking from occurring and banned it eventually in certain areas of the country. Here are some major environmental protection laws that have been put in place from 1963 to 1980. Important ones are the Clean Air Act, the Endangered Species Act, the Clean Water Act, and the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act. Additional legislative actions are shown here: the Safe Drinking Water Act, the Toxic Substances Control Act, EPA's Superfund, and the Soil and Water Conservation Act. On this slide, we see some governmental processes and laws that forces government agencies and business to do a cost-benefit analysis of new projects, such as dams or highways or other building projects. Details of these particular projects must be made available to the public as well. An important player formed in the late 60s and into the 1970s was the Environmental Protection Agency, which evaluates research, monitors environmental quality, and sets standards for pollution and enforces those particular standards as well. In the 1980s, the Clean Air and Water Acts were amended and weakened due to excessive pressure from businesses. Summing it up, environmentalists are still trying to get our government to impose taxes on polluters. As a result, the idea is to get the polluters to pay up or stop polluting.